Welcome to another episode of Port Charles Chat. I'm Mom.
And I'm Brandon.
Thank you so much for joining us again today. And Brandon, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, Mom. How are you doing today?
I am doing grand. All right, we're going to start off with the synopsis, character style. All right, let's talk first about Cyrus. All right, Cyrus kind of had a big week. Well, he wasn't there, but his effects were still there throughout the week. Anyway, so last week, Cyrus was killed by Josslyn. She did call the WSB, or she called Brennan after it occurred. It wasn't self defense. But anyway, the WSB came and they cleaned up the everything that occurred at the site, at the cabin. However, they left some evidence there. They left evidence to make it appear as though Jason was there, and it made it look like Jason would have killed Cyrus. Um, However, they did take the body away. Um, Jason, on the other hand, actually really did have an alibi. Jason actually visited Drew during the time period in which Cyrus was killed, and he also visited Sam's grave. Um, but of course, Drew has decided he wants to deny Jason was with him. Jason was taken in by the police, and he was questioned by Anna, and then he was questioned by another lady also. And when they brought Drew in, Drew denied that he actually saw Jason on the day that they were together. And so those are two big storylines right there. I'm gonna wrap Josslyn along in here with this, and then Brand, I'm gonna get your take on it. Josslyn, since she has now spoken to the WSB, specifically to Brennan, he has actually given her an offer. He has actually been very impressed with everything that is going on. Apparently, Brennan has kind of led her along a little bit with some of the evidence in regards to Dex and Cyrus. All right. And Brennan thinks that Josslyn would be a wonderful addition to the WSB, and he is ready to send her off to training. Josslyn does take a couple days to think about it and does decide that she does want to do it. She does try, in fact, to tell people about Jason, but she ends up following Brennan's advice, and she goes off to training. And at this point in time, no one seems to know she's really missing. All right, Bran, what are your thoughts about Cyrus and Jason and Josslyn?
Well, first of all, is it to anyone's surprise that Drew would not cooperate the alibi?
I don't think it's anyone's surprise that Drew would not go along with the alibi.
But for my additional two notes, though, one is that not only did they wipe any evidence that Jocelyn was ever there at the cabin, they followed through with the story that Jocelyn had lost her phone all day Monday's episode. But not only did they wipe all Jocelyn's evidence and plant Jason's hairs there, is that they also got rid of any evidence that Cyrus ever lived at that cabin.
Yeah, so right now there's no body at all. And so in theory, Cyrus could be alive. In theory, because there is no evidence of a body.
Yeah, and then in terms of the whole thing with Josslyn and Brennan, I think it's quite interesting to see what they're doing with this and the quick turnaround that it is. And sure enough, Josslyn's already gone.
Yeah, I bet her WSB training will take a week. What do you think?
Yeah, and I'm curious as to if it might actually take a little bit more, and whether it's that we see her in a week and maybe she disappears again. And the only reason I said that is because we have a lot of characters on the campus right now, and so maybe this is their way of sort of sidelining her for the time being without making it seem like we're trying to dismiss her grief.
Yeah, and it gives her, I guess, in real life, a vacation at the same time. But yeah, so that's one part of General Hospital. Then we have these other storylines that are just kind of milling on out there. First of all, Cody and Molly are bonding together. They've had a little scene that I thought was kind of cute. Tracy, she wants Drew not to use the Quartermain name, and she will do everything she can to make sure he does not use the name. Martin does come to see her, and he tries to fight it, but Tracy at this point is not buying it. But surprisingly, Gio actually had a firm opinion about this, and he doesn't believe that Drew should. He believes that Drew should continue using the Quartermain name. We find out in another scene that Deception actually may need to use Sidwell. It has to do with an ingredient they need for one of their creams. And since Sidwell actually has the stone, I guess, lack of a better word, that they need, they kind of need him in the process. Brooklyn and Chase are trying to decide what to do about having a baby. We do know that Chase is not able to have babies, but they're trying to figure out how the best way that they can have a family. Ava and Rick, we think, might be a couple, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, Ava and Rick we're seen together. Kai and Trina are becoming closer, so they're becoming closer to a couple. And then Lucky, and I'll be quite honest, I forgot about Lucky since he wasn't in all the episodes this week. Um, but Lucky has recovered from his digitalis reaction, and he is now speaking to people in his family. And that, for the most part, is everything that I had this week. To me, this was a week of just kind of a lot of things just kind of thrown in without a real point per se, with the exception of Josslyn. If it was a way to take Josslyn so she could get a WSB, then that would make sense. But the week itself, besides that particular storyline, just kind of repeated the same things that they've done previously. All right, Brandon, your thoughts?
Well, actually, I feel like for this week we have both, like you mentioned, the wrapping up of the whole thing with Jocelyn and Cyrus and Brennan. But I feel like they're trying to set up for something new with Selena Wu.
Yeah, Selena Wu was back again. We know that she needs something from Cody, of course, money. But other than that, we don't know what Selena's really up to.
Yeah, we really don't. I mean, we're, I guess, circling the villains now. Well, villains and villains. With Sidwell in one corner, Brennan doing some interesting stuff, and and of course now we have Selena Wu back in the picture, and Drew's kind of working with them all.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what they're really trying to do. All right, Brand, let's get to some of the fun stuff. Let's talk about our performers of the week. I struggled a lot with this one because it was just a week that not a lot was going on. And so for me, performers of the week were Brooklyn and Chase. And I don't even know if I picked them before, but Brooklyn and Chase for me were the performers of the week. I added Jocelyn in too because I liked that she was kind of torn between what she should do. But but yeah, they delved a lot into Brooklyn and Chase and the ability to have or have not have or have or not have children. And I thought that was an interesting conversation. I do feel sorry for Chase. And then, like I said, once more, Jocelyn, just because it was interesting to watch her as she was going back and forth with her decision. Brandon, who are your performers of the week?
I'm actually going to say the same for you.
Okay.
And I want to add too that I really have liked Chase's performances over the last 2 weeks, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry it's taken me this long to sort of add him to our top performers list, but I think it's truly is well deserved because I like that we're seeing this different side of Chase from what we're used to of the sort of because we don't oftentimes see his emotion, we see him in his work because that's the scenes they show him in, but I'm glad that we're able to see that vulnerable side of him.
Yes. All right. Now for amusing scenes of the week. Tracy, for me, is the one who gets the amusing scene for the week. I thought she did a nice job in speaking with Martin, and which was kind of amusing. And then I actually threw Geo in also because he was kind of trying to stand up for himself, and it's kind of fun to watch him kind of try to stand up to Tracy. And so those are my people who are involved with the amusing scenes of the week. What about you, Grant?
Ooh, okay. I would say that the scene I thought was music. It was a one-liner,
Mm,
but it was between Sasha and Cody. Cody's trying to not awkwardly, um, at least get some sort of relationship, friendship, cousinship, whatever you call it, with Sasha. But he said something along the lines of like, you go, cuz, and Sasha's reaction is like, nope, sorry, we're not there yet.
yes, yeah, that was cute too. I will give that credit, and I also give credit to Maxie. Also, I think all the scenes of Maxie tend to be pretty amusing, and so she had a couple scenes that I thought was amusing this week too. All right, and then we get to come down to our touching scenes of the week. I'm going to go to Lois and Brooklyn because I thought they had some nice conversations, and then also I want to say Lucky and everyone who kind of visited him in the hospital. Because he did have some nice conversations with his family as they came to see him. All right, Brandon, what about you for touching scenes of the week?
Yeah, I definitely don't want to exclude Chase and Dante because I thought they had a great time together. But the one I'm actually going to choose is one that I don't feel got enough time, and that is on Monday's episode, Alexis and Rick.
Yeah, they did have a little touching scene, and that was actually nice to see. And it's in regards to Sam, and then finding out that Cyrus is the one who did it. All right. As for my fast forward scenes of the week, it was Willow. I didn't even include Drew in that. For me, it was just Willow. What about you, Bran?
Whatever happened to you, like you, Willow, a few weeks ago?
Well, that was a few weeks ago. I've moved on now. Now she bothers me. So anyway, what do you think, Bran?
I didn't really have anything for this week. I mean, I thought this week was very. Uh, the stakes were a lot lower this week than last week, but I mean, nothing really bothered, like, stood out right and bothered me this week.
Okay. And then I want to talk about a developing couple, and that's Cody and Molly. I like them. I really do. And so I think that Cody is a better fit than TJ, or at least this version of Molly. Let me put it that way. I think that Cody is a better fit for Molly. I also, of course, like Isaiah and Jordan because I think they're a cute little couple too. So that's my pick for developing couples. And I know this is a new one, and I didn't tell you about this one ahead of time. What do you think for developing couples for you?
I mean, to me, if we couldn't have Molly and Dex, we might as well have Molly and Cody, right? And yeah, I definitely am liking their chemistry a little bit better than when Molly was with TJ. Speaking of which, where is TJ?
Yeah, I know. TJ's on my where are you? you know. So yes, that'll we have read that she's coming back, but he's been missing for a little bit. And I think I read he's been missing since December if I remember that correctly.
It may be.
Yeah. All right. And then we have welcome back. Welcome back to Selena. I do like Selena, so welcome back to Selena. Brandon, did you have a welcome back for you this week?
Yeah, I have a small one, in which case is welcome back to ADA Turner, who had a very minor role, several months ago as a lawyer for Christina's trial against Ava. But now it seems that she's taken a bit of control at the PCPD.
Yeah, she seems to be everywhere now. All right. And then I was kind of bothered by one thing that happened. I understood why, for plot purposes, why they did it, and that was taking Anna off the case of Cyrus. And so I was bothered by this, and I was bothered by that. Of course, Anna now, of course, is going to work on her own in order to try to help Jason. But I really like Anna, so that surprised me. All right, Bran, did you have any moments that you were kind of bothered by?
So for me, this I agree that I was a little bothered by that. However, I'm hoping that if the show does this right, what I would love to see is now that we have this, anyway, and ADA Turner, she's not the one in charge of the PCPD, but she's in charge of this investigation. I would like to. I like the chemistry that her character had in sort of an antagonistic sort of role, authoritative role with everyone, and I would love to see them actually develop that and just have her as a force that's just sort of out there. I don't want
Mm-hmm.
them to sort of become too intense with it, like a Jagger, where you have to take them down. But but to me, I would love if they were able to develop her kind of like a Sidwell, where he's just a threat that's out there, but
Mm-hmm.
he's not really bothering anyone. And it's funny to say that because that's the real life wife of Sidwell.
Oh wow! Yes, yes. All right. And then for next week, what am I looking forward to? Well, I kind of picked some odd things. I picked Geo, and just because I kind of want them to go ahead and just get started with the storyline and move it along. And then Sidwell and Natalia because we were left kind of just hanging. And then in this particular week, we saw that Natalia did kind of vote on the side of Sidwell, not a pure vote like deception vote, but it was just a vote when they were trying to decide what to do about this whatever mineral that they need, and she kind of voted to kind of work with Sidwell. And so those are the two that I'm kind of looking forward to next week. And then I want to know if anyone will notice that Josslyn's missing. All right, Brandon, what are you looking forward to for next week? And do you have a will anyone notice moment?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, will people notice Josslyn's missing? You know, yes and no. I feel like on one hand that I think people are going to start getting suspicious, but I don't know if they're going to think anything of it as of right now,
Mm-hmm.
just because we have so many storylines going on. But I could easily see them picking this up like in several weeks or months and being like, oh yeah, remember when we did this thing? Well, guess
Uh-huh.
what? It's relevant again. Similar to now that Selena Wu has those documents to take down Portia.
Yep, that's true too. True too. All right. Listen, Brandon, is there anything else you want to talk about this week with General Hospital?
I did want to just quickly note too is that I'm intrigued to see what Sasha is going to answer in terms of her new job potentially.
Oh, yes, I didn't mention that she was offered a job to work at the Metro Court by Carly. Olivia was in with it also, but Carly's the one who gave the job offer.
And do you think she'll accept?
I think she's going to accept anything to escape the quarter maze.
But yeah, I definitely feel like she will. However, I think the mental question I have is will she immediately accept? Or is this going to be one of those things where she's going to decline and come back to this like in a few weeks? And the
I
only
think.
reason. Oh,
Go ahead. No, go ahead. The only reason. Oh no, a part of me thinks she can do both jobs. I think that she could cook the dinner for the Quartermaines and then go to work at the Metro Court.
yeah, that makes perfect sense. And yeah, because I feel like for whatever it's worth with Quartermaines, I feel like she does like being there because she likes what she has, but in the same time, I know that the questions are going to get a little bit too much for her. And to give her some storyline progression, she needs to go somewhere, whether it's the Metro Court or otherwise. Um, but I could easily see her hesitating with this. But yeah,
Yep. All right. That sounds good, Brandon. Let's see. Well, we thank everybody for watching today.
yes, we definitely do. And Mom, I actually had a quick question for you before we end out.
All right. What's your question, Brandon?
Do you think Nina found anything going for Drew's safe?
Oh, I forgot about that. I think she did. We don't know what she found, but I think she's going to find something that she could hold over Drew, and that will be interesting to watch.
Yeah, I think that would be interesting as well. And what I would love to see, this go out, I don't know if we'll do if Nina is safe or not, is the fact that Drew said that Jason was not there, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for that day, and said that he was going to sign a witness statement, but he didn't yet, but he said he was going to, is
Uh-huh.
I feel like there's going to somehow be evidence that Jason was there. Because the way that they sort of lingered at that question, I feel like they left an opportunity for them to bring that back later. The question is, will they do so?
Yeah, I think they're going to find more evidence against Jason, and like I said, with Jocelyn being out of town and being able, and she's the only one who can say that she actually shot Cyrus. Of course, Brennan knows, but Jason, it's hard for Jason to defend himself when things are just kind of planted. Although Brennan did say that he would make sure that Jason would not go to jail, or at least that's what he's claiming to tell Jocelyn. So if you guys have any theories, please write it down below. We'd love to hear what they are. And once more, we thank you for watching again today. We look forward to watching next week, and we will see you later. Have a great day, everybody.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye bye.